Cali breeze on the track. Yeah. Let's go. Y'all ain't never gonna change me. Y'all ain't never gonna change me.
They tell me follow a trend, just like Chief Keef. Gotta rap about money, murder, bitches in that beef. But I ain't gotta kill a man just to get on the team, because my bars go harder before they even leave my teeth. I got bitches in my face trying to play me like I'm just your average white girl. They might still love me once, but I rock that whole world. From the country to the hood, I know I'll be good, because I keep my head up just the way I should.
Y'all ain't never gonna change me. Y'all ain't never gonna change me.
I'm steady hitting corners in my arcade. I've always got a gang of haters following me. Yeah, I'm one to ride solo, and that's the truth. Now if you listen very closely, I'll spit you the proof. I've got that country girl charm with that snake ass smile. If you wanna get to know me, it's gonna take you a while. I've got that slick ass game you can't learn from the books, cause I learned it from the OGs, the pimps and the crooks.
Y'all ain't never gonna change me. Y'all ain't never gonna change me.
Watch yourself, watch yourself. Don't take a step closer, better watch yourself. I say watch yourself, watch yourself. Don't take a step closer, better watch yourself. Oh, giddy up, here we go now. Bet you all thought I'd be baby slow now. But if on the time to sit down and hear the rhyme go, seconds are passing and you still don't know. And I'm sorry, I couldn't make it. I'm sorry, I wouldn't fake it. And I'm sorry, I wouldn't take it. I don't fucking care. And I wanna sip a Captain, swig it out the bottle. Sorry, but you can't change me. Y'all can't change me now. Y'all can't change me now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the debut episode of Masters of the Underground. I'm Mike Bath and host Nikki Wicked could not be here today as she is on her way to the Gathering of the Juggalos. She'll be meeting there. On the line with me, I have artist and underground sensation Cali Breeze. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Pretty hot out there. Is it hot down your way?
Well, honestly, I haven't been outside yet. Just been in the house. I took a little nap after work, and yeah.
Yeah, that's what I usually do because I go in at like 5 o'clock in the morning and get off at 1:30. But I usually take my breaks outside, so I've been able to notice that it's a little bit warmer, but there's a breeze today, so it's not as bad as it usually is.
There you go.
First thing I wanted to ask today is how you came up with your name of Cali Breeze.
Cali Breeze. Kind of a long story. Breeze is kind of a play on my middle name, and there's like, I don't know, something alternate behind it too that I don't like to talk much about, but I mean, there is foundation there. And then Cali, when I was homeless back when I was 19, I didn't want people to know my real name, so that's kind of what I went by, I guess.
I hear that. It's a pretty cool name. It sticks and it's catchy, so people know who you are whenever they hear it, which is pretty dope.
Thanks.
No, your first mixtape was called Late Night Escape Plan Volume 1. Why don't you go ahead and talk about that a little bit for the people who don't know who you are?
Sure, yeah, Late Night Escape Plan Volume 1. I kind of just started throwing songs together, and I wanted to, be able to collaborate with as many artists as I could, because I was brand new in the game. I didn't really have any other songs out or anything like that, but I knew that I needed and wanted to put out some type of mixtape. I wasn't ready for an album yet at the time, but I got in contact with a bunch of really great artists and put a mixtape together.
Nice. And did you find the reception generally a well reception to the mixtape?
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of the tracks that I have that are solo tracks on there, I performed for quite a while, and yeah, in general, very well recepted, and people were always asking me for copies of it and things like that. And I still do have copies of it for free that I hand out on occasion, and it's also available for download on DatPiff for free as well.
Oh, that's awesome. So we'll be sure to link that again. Maybe somewhere whenever I post the video, I'll link the link so that people who haven't heard it can get a chance to listen to it.
For sure, yeah. You can stream it off my SoundCloud too.
Okay, that's awesome. What's your SoundCloud for people who don't know?
It's soundcloud.com/CaliBreeze24.
Okay, cool. And what would you say is your favorite part about the music process? Do you prefer the writing or the recording?
I definitely like the writing probably better. That's really my main reasoning for being a musician, an artist. Because I like to tell stories, and I have a lot of stories to tell. And I also use it as a way to vent and get the bullshit out of my head and things like that. So definitely the writing.
Right. So it's like a therapy to you as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of underground artists. The music is like a way to release the stuff and to vent. And it kind of is like a therapy because you always feel better after you write something.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any pre-recording rituals or anything that you do before you record in the booth?
Well, I mean, I've got my own little studio set up at my house, and I wouldn't say I have any like rituals, but my writing process and like the way I like come up with the structure of a song, like it's kind of weird. I've heard a few people tell me they do the same thing, but like I'll just start playing a beat and kind of get the feel for it and kind of get a rhythm in my head, a cadence in my head of what I want my lyrics to sound like. And then I'll just hop on the mic and basically spit a lot of gibberish. And then from
Yeah.
there, I just build off of, the sounds and the accents that I hear and what I kind of just gibberized on the mic. I don't know if that's a word, but I just turned it into one. But yeah.
Yeah, well, it is now.
But yeah, I mean, so I wouldn't.
How did you, go ahead.
What? I was just gonna say, yeah, I don't really have like an actual ritual. Just kind of do it, I guess.
Yeah. So how did you get your original start in music? What was it about music that drew you in?
Well, I mean, I'd been interested in music ever since I was a child. I grew up in band, choir, and orchestra all throughout school. I was in my church choir, my church little band, and I did pep band and marching band as well in high school. But yeah, so I mean, I've always been interested in music. When I moved to the Twin Cities area back in '09, I actually played bass guitar, and I was in a couple bands back then. That just didn't work out, and I needed something that I could do kind of solo and by myself. And 2010 rolled around, and I really started getting into hip hop, and I'd always wrote lyrics, but I could never write a melody to save my life. So I guess
Yeah.
I kind of defaulted to hip hop in a way, but I absolutely fell in love with it once I started immersing myself in the culture and things like that. So yeah.
So who was your first influence hip hop wise that you started listening to?
Honestly, it was ICP, Twisted,
Nice.
ABK, yep. And then from there, I got into like old school rap, like Tupac, Ghetto Boys, NWA, things like that. And then I got into Chicano rap, Mr. Criminal, Miss Crazy, and yeah, I've kind of really bounced around in the whole scene.
Nice, nice. And what would you say? Do you draw most of your lyrics from real life experiences?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even if my track, kind of doesn't sound like it's real life, every track that I do does have some type of real life basis to it. I might just elaborate or, change it into a better sounding story, I guess.
Yeah. I know that you've opened up for Cut Calhoun. What was that experience like?
Cut is dope. Actually, the first time that I met him, I was opening up for him in Minneapolis, and the promoter of the show hit my line that morning and told me the ride that they had for him from the airport fell through. So they were wondering if I could run out to the airport and pick him up and bring him to the hotel. And I was like, yeah, like I was super nervous at first, but yeah, I just ran out there, picked him up, brought him to the hotel, did the show, talked to him, out back during the show. Cool ass dude. And then the next day I was home and I had just woke up and they hit my line again. Hey, can you give Cut a ride back to the airport? And I was like, yeah, sure. So yeah, I brought
Yeah,
him
that's
back
something
to
that you don't really say no to.
Right, yeah. So I brought him back to the airport. I mean, we didn't really talk a whole lot in my car as we were driving, but it was like, it wasn't an awkward silence either. We just like were chill with each other, and it was like, whatever,
Yeah.
we're cool. We're just two people cruising, But yeah, he's cool.
Right.
And then I opened up for him again. I believe it was at the Opinion Brewing Company in Newport. Yeah. And that was cool too. I didn't really have much of a chance to talk to him then either, but yeah, overall from my experience, my two experiences with him, I can definitely say he's a pretty cool dude.
Nice. Have you ever had any kind of stage fright when performing, or have you just always been able to do it and perform in front of the crowd without issue?
Oh shit. At first I had the most horrible stage fright. Actually, like when I first started writing lyrics and things like that, and starting to get serious about making Late Night Escape Plan Volume 1, I knew that I needed to get over my stage fright. I couldn't even get up on stage and say hi in front of people at that point. So I started forcing myself to go to karaoke every Sunday night at the local bar that I used to live by. And like when I first started going, I needed to be like a pitcher or close to a pitcher of beer in before I'd even turn my song slip in, because I just had that big of stage fright. But I knew it was something that I wanted to do, and so I kept forcing myself to go, and eventually, little by little, it took less beer, less shots. I could just get up there. It also helped that I had an amazing group of friends who really supported me and knew that I wanted, to do that in the future as my career, hopefully, but yeah, so I mean, my first show too, I did with D-Boss and the Kazos, our track Snappin', in St. Paul, Minnesota. Like I got on stage, started with my verse, and I think I blacked out, honestly. I had a friend in the crowd that was videotaping the whole thing, and I did fine for my first show. I didn't really fuck up at all, but I don't remember half the time of being on stage. So it's definitely something that I've had to work through. And now, it's pretty simple for me to get up there, but it's been a battle for sure.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where you just decide, well, if I want to do this, I just have to get out and do it. And like you said, you just force yourself to do it, and then over time it gets easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, speaking of your first mixtape, I know you sent me this song, Change Me. Why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about that song and your inspiration for it?
Change Me. Well, I always get so many people, being a white female in the rap game, whole, you act like such a thug, or what are you trying to be, black, or whatever. And I'm always like, no, I am who I am. I like what I do. I'm not trying to be anything. I get out there and give people 100% the real me every time. But I always had people, saying that kind of stuff, and I had people trying to like change how I was, like trying to, sex me up and things like that, because I try to be pretty conservative the way I dress. That's just the way I've always been. And
Right.
people have always been like, oh well, if you dress with a little lower cut top, or short shorts or whatever, you'll have more fans, this and that. And I'm always like, no, like, you can't change me. And that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah, that's all. awesome. And people are going to do that too. They're always going to try and make you change to fit whatever image they want. But I always respect the person that stays true to themselves. And the people shouldn't be paying attention to your music because of, to me personally, they shouldn't be paying attention because of what you look like. They should be paying attention to your lyrics. Because to me,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the most important things about music in general.
Right.
So I respect that you stay true to who you are and you don't let people change you, basically.
Yeah.
Where would you say has been your favorite place to perform so far?
Um, Big V's in St. Paul, Minnesota has kind of been my home base, but recently there's just been like a lot of bullshit going on with that venue. I still love the people from that, that work at that venue and all the people that I've seen perform there. But in all honesty, my most favorite stage to be on had to have been the Phoenix Lounge out in Harrisburg, South Dakota. I just love the setup they have there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe exactly how it is if you've never been out there, but it's pretty dope.
Yeah, yeah. Where would you say if there's one place that you haven't been able to perform yet that you would want to be able to perform?
I don't know, man. I just kind of let it take me wherever. I'm super blessed for being able to perform the places that I have been already, and I just kind of go with the flow, I guess. I don't have a goal per se.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you just kind of go with the flow and then you're just happy with what you've been blessed with already. That's always pretty cool to see where you started and where you came from.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you also sent me a song, No Limit, off your album that was that released this year, Sovereign?
Yep, Sovereign was released back in March.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and talk to people a little bit about that? Because I'm sure that was pretty exciting being your first debut actual album.
Yeah, Sovereign was a lot of work. I do all my mixing, mastering, recording, writing myself, everything. So, I mean, to put out a whole album was a lot of work. On that one, I don't have any beats that I made, but the beat for Change Me I made. So I dabble in that as well. But yeah, Sovereign, I just kind of wanted to get something out there that was predominantly just me on it and tell my story, a bunch of different stories, I guess. And I named it Sovereign because, like I said before, I did everything fully independently, and sovereign is another word for independent. So yeah, I put that out.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be respected that you did everything yourself because that's not an easy thing to do.
No.
And you know about the song you sent me, No Limit, you know how much I already love that song. Why don't you talk a little bit about that one? Because I think that's probably a banger for anybody that listens to it.
Yeah, I really appreciate that you've been bumping that. Yeah, No Limit. Actually, it started with the conversation with my homeboy, my tattoo artist. He's seen me go from homeless to kind of doing all right, back to homeless, and but I'm always constantly trying to improve myself and better myself, and he knows that I have like my sights set super high, and I've got all these big dreams and shit, and he's always just been there to support me 100%. How like a lot of women go to hairdressers or whatever, and they gossip and kind of spew their life. That's my tat man. He's that for me. But we had a conversation one time, and he's like, you know what? People say sky's the limit. Shoot for the sky. Da 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 da. And he's like, but you don't have a limit. You've got no limit. You just get out there and do your shit, and you've got no limit. And so I kind of took that and ran with it for the track No Limit, and that's where it was born, I guess.
Yeah, it's an awesome track for sure. It's catchy and it just draws you in. It's really good.
Thank you.
And shit, I was about to say something and I forgot what I was going to say.
It's all good.
Are you into horror movies or anything like that?
Yeah, I like to watch horror movies. Unfortunately, like I don't have a lot of time to watch really any type of movies or TV because I'm so busy with my own music, and I just started up this entertainment company, Sovereign Nation Entertainment, with D Boss, J Law, and Wake and Bake. And so I've been really like grinding on that, and I just finished our website, sovereignnationent.com. And I'm working on editing a bunch of videos and things like that. And in the meantime, I'm also planning out my next little project and things like that. I've actually got 2 that I'm planning out, but so I don't have a whole lot of time to sit and watch horror movies or really anything. But
so you were talking about editing videos. Have you released any music videos yet?
Well, there is a music video for Change Me that I made a few years ago. And it's actually, to me, kind of comical to see how I acted back when I first made that track and how I looked and whatnot. But that's on my YouTube. I also have like a quick little video I did for a track called Dream. I never really put that out on like SoundCloud or anything. It was just for a fun little track that I had my brother, who was 15 at the time, shoot for me, and then I edited it. But yeah, I've got those 2 out. But I do edit other videos and things like that. I just finished a video for the homegirl D-Boss, I Decree. That's up on YouTube as well. And yeah, like I said, working on a few more that I'm editing, and hopefully I'll be getting a few more out of my own as well too here in the near future.
Yeah, I can tell just from talking to you that you're a hard worker and you definitely stay on the grind, which is something else to be respected.
Thank you.
Why don't you go ahead, whatever you can say about your upcoming projects. I'm sure you don't want to give too much away, but if you have anything that you'd like to let people know, you can go ahead and talk about
it. All right. Well, big project that I'm working on is Late Night Escape Plan Volume 2, which I'm super excited for. I've got quite a few really dope collabs for that. It's going to be another mixtape. I just want to have like a whole series of mixtapes where I feature like up and coming artists and, homies of mine or, from all over the United States. I also want to, use it as a networking opportunity for these other artists and to help people get their name out there and shit like that too. But yeah, so I'm working on that. And then I'm also working on an EP, LP album. I'm not sure what it's going to turn into yet, but yeah, that one, I came up with actually a really, really, really dope idea last night at work for that. And even though I kind of had something already started to be planned out, I just flipped the script, and I'm really liking where I've got this going now. I don't really want to say too much about it right now since it's still in its like baby stages, but yeah, it should be pretty dope.
Yeah, so would you say most of your ideas, they just kind of come to you out of nowhere, and then you have to write them down so you can remember them?
Yeah, for my quote-unquote real job, I do valet at a hotel casino up here. And so I have a lot of time walking around by myself just to be in my own head. And I'll just come up with ideas. And, my coworkers have gotten to the point where they know that I walk around and like rap to myself, and I'm not just going crazy talking to myself. I'm actually like building something, and they also, are very supportive of everything too, and they know that sometimes I need to stop and take a break so I can write down the few lines that are in my head or the idea that I have, or things like that. So I've been very fortunate to work with that crew out there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like to talk about it much because I feel like I know there's a lot of people out there who writing and coming up with ideas is very difficult for. But what I tell those people, like, sometimes it is for me too. In all honesty, like, it's not all the time that shit just pops into my mind. But when I feel like I need to write, I need to get a verse done for someone or whatever else, I tell people, this is what you need to do. Just look around you. Even if it's the most stupid thing, like practice daily, like, just start rhyming words like wall, ball, tall, and get that flowing in your mind, Just rap about what you see, what you feel, what you hear, and sometimes that's what I have to do too.
Yeah, because I have that problem too when it's like if I have a set theme already and then I try to write to it, then I struggle more than if it just comes to me and I write stuff down and build off of it later.
Right.
I used to hate that because I used to work in a factory, so I'd be running something on the machine, and that was usually because it was quiet in there. That was usually when something would pop in my head. and I'd be trying to
Mhm.
write it down and run the machine at the same time.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. So, is there any songs off of Sovereign that you would like to make a music video for?
Oh man, yeah, there's quite a few actually. It's just a matter of see, like when I do music videos, I usually for other people or whatever, I'm usually shooting them myself. Even if I'm in them, I'll just throw up my tripod and get that scene shot. So the issue is trying to find someone that knows how to shoot one that I don't have to pay
Right.
because I have the camera and things like that, and I'm pretty cheap, like not cheap, just frugal, I guess, when it
Yeah.
comes to investing my money in this my music and stuff like that. I'd rather just do things myself than have to pay somebody else. And
Yeah,
um,
I can hear that for sure. Because some people they charge you a certain amount of money, and it's like a ridiculous amount for some people. So
right,
sometimes it's easier to just do everything yourself.
right, yeah, I'm always educating myself too and trying to expand on that so I don't, so there's more areas where I don't have to pay someone. But yeah, I do have a few tracks. My track "Search the Skies" with my homeboy Mose. I'd love to shoot a video with him for that, and we've actually talked about it. It's just a matter of synchronizing our schedules, and yeah, that's definitely one that will possibly be in the works in the near future, hopefully.
Nice, nice. And do you come up with since you pretty much do everything yourself, do you come up with how you're going to do your album art for your album covers and stuff like that? Do you come up with those ideas yourself too?
Yeah, I mean, actually, my album art for Sovereign I did myself. I do like most of my own graphics. Late Night Escape Plan, my buddy back in the day, did that for me just because I didn't have like the programs or even really the computer to do it on. But yeah, I definitely I do like 90% of everything myself. So
Right. And I know you
yeah.
mentioned that you have a tattoo artist and you do tattoos. Where do you draw your inspiration from for the tattoos that you get?
My life. Each one of my tattoos has some type of meaning to me in one way or another. Might not mean anything to the next guy, but every one of my tattoos means something to me. So
Yeah, so it all has a meaning to you. That's always pretty cool because I know some people they just do it just to do it, but I think it has
right,
more of a significance when you get a tattoo and it has some kind of important meaning to you.
right. Just it's kind of like the way I think about it. Like my music is my vocal representation of my life story, and then my tattoos I want to be like my visual representation of my life story, I guess.
Nice. And who would you say as an artist that you haven't got a chance to collab with? Who would you like to collab with if you got the chance?
Oh man, so many people. Right now, like my ultimate collabs would either be Ritz or Whitney Payton or
Nice.
Stotocotic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Whitney's new album "Break the Frame" was insane.
Yeah, she's pretty dope. Actually, when I opened for Cut out in Newport, Minnesota, she was on that tour with him as well. Well, they just actually got off that tour, but yeah, so I've met Whitney twice as well, and I had the opportunity of playing tour guide for her and Supreme and Sticky. And since I live near Prince's uh, studio out here in Minnesota, I had the opportunity of playing tour guide and taking them out there the day after their show. Um, so yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, what was that experience like?
Just few homies chilling. Like that's the way I try to operate. Like, everybody's human. I don't
Exactly.
tend to get starstruck. I don't, I just, try to be cool with these people and kick it like they're my homies, I guess.
Right. You have an approach much like me where it's everybody's just trying to make it just with different professions. Everybody's still human. So
Right.
I tend not to get too starstruck either because I just see everybody as someone just like me, just trying to make it like everyone else.
Exactly. And some of us are in, higher, I don't want to say better positions, but some of us just have, worked our ass off longer and, just gotten that much further. And, I can't hate on anybody who's grinded and gotten to where they are now. Because that's what I am doing. That's, so
Right.
I try to look to those people for inspiration, and things like that for sure. So.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. If you put in the work, then you're going to tend to last longer because you put in the work than
Right.
someone who just blows up by chance by just trying to make something that sounds like everybody else. That's why I
Yep.
listen to mostly the underground stuff, because pretty much everything you listen to, it's going to be someone trying to do something different, not trying to sound like everything else that you hear on the radio.
Yep, exactly.
So what would you say has been your biggest accomplishment so far in music?
Oh man. Well, honestly, I like to say this whole music thing is a dream come true of a dream I never knew I had, and that's a quote from a YouTuber that I watch, Shay Carl. But basically, I never, when I was a kid, if people asked me, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" I was never like, "Oh, a hip hop artist." Yeah, no, never. Like I never knew that this is what I wanted to do, but
Right.
every step of the way has just been so awesome, and it's a dream come true of a dream I never knew I had. Like all of it. I'm just proud of myself for all of it, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all. And I know you said something earlier about how you like to work with up and coming artists. I think that's pretty cool of you to do as well. Why don't you talk a little bit about that, like your experience with some of the up and coming artists that you get to work with?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like to work with a plethora of people because I like all different styles. I like, you know, learning things about new people and everything. And I know how I was when I first started out and how, you know, awesome it felt to get certain collabs and things like that and certain features.
Right.
And I've always wanted to make sure I'm, you know, kind of returning the love that I got when I was first starting out. So yeah.
Yeah, and I always thought that's a cool thing too when you get different collabs, because it helps you to grow as an artist, because different people have different styles, so it helps you to grow as well.
Yeah.
And where did you say you're originally from?
Originally, I was born in Wilmer, Minnesota. Now I've been since 2009. I've kind of hopped around the Twin Cities area, the southern suburbs, and things like that. And now I'm out, kind of in the middle of nowhere. But within the next few months or something here, I want to get out even more in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, Wilmer, Minnesota is where I was born.
So you like the seclusion and not like the huge city life where there's all the noise and everything.
Yeah, when I was homeless, I was homeless in downtown Minneapolis and downtown St. Paul, and that was just a whole like that was a huge culture shock to me coming from little Hodunk Wilmer, Minnesota, and then going to be homeless down there in the Twin Cities, and I learned a lot. I saw a lot, and it's a lot of stuff that I don't want to see anymore. But I'm conscious about it, and I know what's happening. Even though I don't talk much about a lot of things, I do see it, and I'd just rather not put myself near situations um, that might jeopardize my safety or the safety of my loved ones. So I'd rather be out in the boonies, I guess.
Yeah. Does that help you with your writing process as well, being able to be out in that seclusion where you can kind of just simmer down and not have any noise when you're trying to
Yeah,
concentrate?
yeah, it definitely does. And I mean, on top of it too, aside from getting out and doing shows and doing music related stuff, I'm kind of a homebody, and I have pretty bad social anxiety when I'm in new places and meeting new people, like in person. So being out in the boonies kind of just keeps my anxiety down too, and I can chill more, and I have a clearer mind to write and things like that.
Right. I have that problem a little bit too, and like I get a little bit claustrophobic, and there's too many people in one area. So if I ever perform, that's going to be interesting. Of course,
Right.
being on a stage won't be the same as being in the crowd of people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like when I tell people that I've got social anxiety and I'm like a shy person, they don't believe me. They're like, "You're a musician. You perform in front of hundreds of people. Like, how the hell do you have that problem?" And I'm like, "It's different. Like when I'm up on the stage in front of people, I'm fine. But if you put me in the crowd, I'm not fine.
Right.
Like there's no."
Yeah, because
So
that's when it starts getting all crowded and everybody's bumping shoulders, and that's when it feels like you're like it's choking you out. On the
right,
stage, at
yeah,
least you have room to breathe.
exactly.
Now I know we don't have too much longer here. I got started a little bit late, but I'm going to throw a question out there that we used to do on. It used to be called Wicked Shit with my host. At then was Wicked Whisper, but she's out of town right now, so that's why Nikki's taking over and we changed things up to go Masters of the Underground. But I'm still going to throw $1 million question out there. It's usually something I ask every artist. It's like a random question on if they would do something for $1 million.
Okay.
All right, and what I'll ask you is if someone came up to you and said they'd offer you $1 million, I guess like a record label or a record deal, but they told you that you had to change your style, would you change your style or would you say the same and refuse the money?
I've had this discussion with people about, just even signing in general. And if it were the case that they'd want me to change, y'all ain't never gonna change me.
Right. That's
So
why I did that because I remembered you talking about the song earlier.
yeah. Yep. Money's great. I love to make money. I love having money, but I would never change who I am for shit. You know. Unless I feel like I need to make the change, I would never let anybody say, you know, you can't be this, you have to be that. So, yeah.
Right. And I noticed I remember you mentioned something earlier about you recently starting up your own entertainment company. Why don't you talk about that a little
Yeah, Sovereign Nation Entertainment. Check us out on Facebook. It's like I said earlier, my homegirl D Boss, J Law, and Wake and Bake. We got together and we're running this entertainment company. We just actually went live with everything within the last week and a half. I finished the website within the last 3-4 days, and so we're still pretty fresh with everything. But my main mission with wanting to start this entertainment company, Sovereign Nation Entertainment, I just want to be able to unite free-thinking individuals to the love of music, because everybody has a right to their own thoughts and their own opinion, but that doesn't
bit.
mean
Right.
that we can't all join together for a better cause. So that's kind of my mission with that.
Right. And what was it like trying to build your own website?
Um, it's frustrating because I
Hmm.
also built my own my CaliBreeze.com website as well. So I had the experience from that, but definitely is frustrating.
Yeah, I remember for me, whenever I tried to first do the Illusionizt.net and I had no idea what I was doing, I was like, okay, this is annoying. So I had Wicked Whisper design the rest of it for me.
Right. Yeah. Google and YouTube are like my best friends in life. So.
Yeah, because when you just jump into it, it can be overwhelming because you don't really know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
get easily
Especially when
frustrated.
you try to get into the HTML coding and things like that. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to write code, but I know how to use it. So I mean, at least that counts.
Yeah, that definitely counts for something. All right, I know you gotta get off here. You don't have all day. Well, if you want to go ahead and do some shout outs or any last things that you want to mention before we get off, now would be the perfect time for you to go ahead and do that.
All right. Yeah. Definitely shout out to my Sovereign Nation Entertainment crew, D-Boss, J-Lo, Wake and Bake. I also want to give a huge shout out to Psycho Myko. He's an artist slash promoter slash do it all guy. up here in Minnesota, and he you know, he does great things for the hip hop community here in Minnesota. So shouts out to Psycho Myco. I don't know, I could do shout outs all day, but yeah, those
You
are
still
the
got
first.
time.
Well, I mean, those are the first ones that come to mind. I could sit, like I said, like literally all day, give shouts out to people. Shout out to like everybody who has supported this movement, whether they're just jumping on right now or they've been with me like from the beginning. That's another huge one too, for sure.
And did you enjoy your interview today? And would you come back on sometime?
Oh hell yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. Maybe after your new project drops, Nikki should be around then. Maybe we can get her on and we can interview then.
Okay, yeah, that'd be dope.
All right. Thank you, Callie Breeze, for coming on again. It was an awesome time, and we'll speak to you again soon.
For sure. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Yep, for sure. Have a good one.
You too.
Now I know I've been gone for a while, but I told y'all to never mistake my silence for failure. I ain't no little bitch. Come right back. No limit, 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 straight out the sticks, but I don't Lincoln log. Mind bending tricks to put your head in the fog. Kinda how would I freak creeping down your streets? Spectacular magician that'll rise to your feet, levitate your body straight up and down. You know my name, cause I'm world renowned. All you wanna be is big killing me. You got so much buzz, but you all sing free. Let's pop some bottles and smoke some trees. Then we'll go to wake, y'all seven C's. Yeah, we stay hyped, it's the only way. Cause you know we gon' party each and every day. We drinking, smoking, bucking too. We always on point, that's how we do. Hit it with a little bit of rap by your tongue. Trolling your teeth, what the fuck they gonna run? Spit so fast like an automatic gun. Crank up the heat, cause I ain't never done. Queen of the pride, I'm a lioness. Arachnophobia, but I digress. Only got one love and that's for the game. When he lays me down, he shakes his brain. I say no when you say limit, no limit, no limit. I say no when you say limit, no limit, no limit. Now you say no when I say limit, no limit, no limit. I say no when you say limit, no limit, no limit. No limit, no limit, no limit, no limit, no